Good afternoon, students. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The screen is visible to you? Yes, PPTs are visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right. So we will wait for 2 minutes. Let the other students join and then we will start. Till that time, if you have any doubt regarding the third chapter, that is transformation, so you can ask those doubts till the other students are joining. Okay. So let us start with the lecture. Yeah. In previous lecture, we have seen some of the transformations that we apply on 2D objects, right? So first transformation we have learned, that was translation, that is shifting the object from its one location to other. So here only the position of the object or the location of the object is changing. There is no change in the shape and size of the object. Then second transformation we have seen, that was rotation. So for rotation, it is same as that of translation, that only the object is changing its position, but there is no change in the shape and size of the object, right? So that is also one kind of transformation, which is called as rotation, where you have to specify the angle of rotation. So we have considered theta as the angle of rotation, and we have seen there are two ways to rotate the object. One is in anti-clockwise direction, it is considered as positive direction, and second is clockwise direction rotation, it is considered as negative. We have seen the T matrix, that is transformation matrix for rotation, and we have got it in terms of theta. So cos theta, sin theta minus sin theta, and cos theta is the T matrix for anticlockwise rotation. So that is the T matrix we know. And how we have derived that, we have already saw the derivation in the previous lecture. Then we have started with the scaling. So previous two transformations, rotation and translation, they were dependent on the position change, but actual object is not changing. But here in scaling, we are changing the size of the object, and the scaling is carried out in two ways. Either we can perform the enlargement, that is expansion, or we can perform the compression. So two ways to carry out scaling is, we can go for expansion of the object where the size will increase than the original one, and the second is compression where the new object will be of less size than that of the original object. So that is how the scaling takes place. Now for this scaling, we need two values or two scaling factors. One is along x direction and other is along y direction. So we have seen that whenever we are going to scale the object along x direction, then it will grow its size horizontally along x-axis. And when we are going to perform the scaling with sy, then we are going to change the size vertically, so along y-axis. Then the relation between the new and old coordinate that we have already discussed, the new coordinates are x dash, y dash. They are x into sx and y into sy respectively. So sx is the scaling in x direction, sy is the scaling in y direction. Then we have seen these things, that any positive numeric value can assign to the scaling factor sx and sy. So you are going to assign the positive value to sx and sy. If the value is less than 1, what will happen if sx or sy, if they are less than 1? So less than 1 means consider half, 0.5. So whenever I am going to multiply with 0.5, then the original value will get reduced. Suppose x is 10 and I am multiplying it with half, that is 0.5. So 10 into 0.5, I will get the result as 5, which is your new x dash. So original value was 10 and we have reduced it to 5, and that's why the reduction takes place. So Whenever the values, that is Sx and Sy, are less than 1, we actually reduce the size of the object. And whenever the values are greater than 1, then we enlarge the size of the object. For example, here Sx is equal to 2. Then what will happen? 10 into 2, you will get 20 as the answer. That means it gets enlarged. So here we are having the value of Sx and Sy. Depending upon that, either you can have the compression or you can have the expansion. And when both the values are equal to 1, then we have seen already. If they are multiplied by 1, then there is no change in the original object. So unchanged size of the object. Okay. Then there are two more definitions in the scaling. It is called as uniform scaling and non-uniform scaling or differential scaling. So uniform scaling means Sx, sorry, Sx and Sy both are same. That means the quantity by which I will enlarge along x-axis, in the same quantity I will be enlarging along y-axis. So when Sx and Sy both are same, then we are going to call it as a uniform scaling. And whenever Sx and Sy are not equal, then we are going to call it as differential scaling. So these are the two types of scaling. Okay, so here is the example. So observe this box on which CG is written. So here we are going to compress it. So this is your original object, and suppose I am going to compress it by half. So Sx and Sy both will be half. That's why your height is also getting half and your width is also getting half. So this is the ultimate or resultant object where the length and breadth are half of original object. And that's why we can say that Sx and Sy both are equal to, that's why we can say Sx is equal to Sy is equal to 0.5. Whether 0.5 is less than or greater than 1? So we know 0.5 is less than 1, and that's why this compression will take place, that is reduction in the size. So we are going to have the reduction in the original object. Getting it? So this is the example of uniform scaling in which Sx and Sy are equal to 0.5, which is less than 1. So uniform reduction in x and y direction. So it is called as uniform reduction in x direction as well as in y direction. Now see this example. See this example. Can you tell me what will be the values of Sx and Sy? Whether they are same? My first question is, if this is the scaling you are going to observe, then what are the values of Sx and Sy, whether they will be equal or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So
Not.
yeah. Okay. So they will not be equal. Those who are saying yes, observe here. This is your original object, which is reducing in its height after transformation. That is, we are going to reduce its height. But what happens with the width? The earlier width is this, and the new width is more than the earlier. So earlier is up to this particular point. So new is more. That means here Sx value is greater than 1 because expansion. The size has increased in x-axis. Original size is this. It is increased along x-axis, and that's why Sx value is greater than 1. But what is happening along y-axis? The original size of this object has been halved. We are going to halve the size of this object along y. So we can say Sy is less than 1. So as Sx is greater than 1, Sy is less than 1, they cannot be equal. Sx and Sy will not be equal, and that's why it is called as ununiform or non-uniform or differential type of scaling. Okay, all of you are getting? Those who have said yes, that Sx and Sy are equal. Those who are getting the difference between these two diagrams? Here,
Yes.
right, thank you. Here, Sx and Sy are same because we are getting compression in both the parameters. But here in the second example, we are getting compression along y-axis, but along x-axis, we are getting expansion. And that's why they should not be equal, and it is the example of non-uniform scaling. Up to this, all of you are clear with?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So my question is, apply the rotation, apply the scaling on a triangle. Apply rotation on a triangle with vertices A 5, 5, B 10, 5, and C 7, 10. Apply the scaling on this object triangle with vertices ABC with these parameters. You have to expand the triangle along x-axis to thrice of its size. You have to expand this triangle along x-axis to thrice of its size, and you have to reduce the triangle to half of its height. To half of its height. So when this question is given to you, what are the things that you have got from this question? So a triangle is given. All of you up to this, there should not be any difficulty that this is the given triangle. Okay. So this is the given triangle. I will draw that here. Okay. I will draw it here. So this is your 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. This is your 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. Now I have a triangle A with 5, 5. So this is your first point, 5, 5. The next is B, 10, 5. So this is 10 and 5. So this point. And third is C, 7, 10. So 7 will be there in between this 5 and 10. And 10 is somewhere here. So I will draw a point. Okay. So this is your given triangle. Up to this, is there any difficulty?
None.
Okay. All girl students getting up to this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right. So this is the triangle with 5, 5A, 10, 5B, and 7, 10C. So these are the three vertices. Next is the remaining half question is what? You have to you have to scale. You have to transform this triangle so that along x-axis, it should be thrice of its original size. You have to expand it to thrice of its size. So for expansion, what should be the value of Sx?
15.
Along x-axis. See, along x-axis, that means scaling factor along x. So it is given that the triangle should be thrice of its original size along x. So thrice means 3 times. So I am
15.
going to, yeah, a point A will become 15, no doubt. But what will be your scaling factor? Scaling factor will be 3, thrice. You have to multiply the object by 3 times. That is 3 is your scaling factor. And the second thing is given, what is that? You have to reduce the height by its half. Reduce the height to its half. So height is related with your y coordinate. Height means what? It is related with your y axis. So as I want to reduce the height to its half, that means scaling factor along y axis is 0.5. Getting the meaning of it? Expand to its 3 times and compress to its half. So width will be expanded by 3 times, but height will be reduced to half. Up to this, is there any difficulty now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So if you have any difficulty, get it clear, because few of the students are responding and remaining, neither they are responding nor they are getting. This should not happen, right? So even a single student is not understanding, please ask at the same point so that all the further points will be clear to you. Okay, so it is said that you have to expand along x-axis 3 times, and that's why the scaling factor becomes 3 along x-axis, and reduce the height by half. So scaling factor along y-axis will become 0.5. So these are the Sx and Sy with us. So what is my job then? I have to multiply this ABC by this scaling. So we know now what is your ultimate goal. That is, I can say that P dash, that is your resultant, is equal to P, that is original, into T. So T is your transformation matrix and P is your original object. So P is having 3 vertices with me. So I will write it in the matrix form now. So first is 5, 5, next is 10, 5, and the third is 7, 10. So I have written ABC vertices like this. And next is, now I'm going to multiply it with Sx and Sy. So we have seen how to write this. So the diagonal elements represent the scaling factors. So here Sx 0 and 0, Sy are your elements. So that what will happen? This x factor will get multiplied with Sx always, and the y factor will get multiplied with Sy always. So Sx and Sy values are 3 and 0.5 respectively. And once I will carry out this multiplication, what is the result I will get? I will write result over here so that you will be able to view it nicely. So perform the multiplication and tell me the result. 5 into 3, 15 plus 0. So I will get 15 over here. Then first row, second column. So 5 into 0, 0 plus 5 into 0.5. 5 into 0.5. So you will get here 2.5. Similarly, 10, 5 will become 30 and 0.5. 2.5, sorry. 30 and 2.5. And 7 and 10 will become 7 into 3, that is 21, and 10 into 0.5, that is 5.
5.
Yeah. So 21 and 5. So this is your resultant P dash. So original triangle we have already drawn. Now our job is to draw this triangle. So this is your 15, and this is 2.5. So this is 5. I will use some other color again. So this is your 15 and half of this 5. So here somewhere. So I will get first point over here. Second, 30 and 2.5. So this is 15, 20, 25, 30. And 2.5 is on the same X line. This is your 2.5. And next is 21, 5. So 15, 20, and 21 will be somewhere here. And 5 is somewhere over here. On this horizontal line, I will get okay. So that is your third point C. So you can observe the expansion to thrice of its size along x-axis, and you are going to observe the compression along y-axis. So this is your resultant triangle after performing non-uniform scaling. Getting it, all of you? Is there any difficulty here?
No, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Now my question is, if I want to change only the height of the triangle to thrice by keeping the width as it is. My question is, the width should be as it is and the height should be thrice of its original size. So can you tell me what kind of scaling is it? The scaling is uniform or non-uniform?
Uniform.
Uniform.
Non-uniform.
Non-uniform, ma'am.
Right, non-uniform, because your x is not changing at all. That is, the width should not change means what? Sx should be equal to 1. There is no change along x-axis. Horizontally, there is no change. Width remains as it is. For this example, see, if I want to keep the width as it is, that means x along x, I have to select Sx such that they will be, the original coordinates will be as it is. So Sx will be equal to 1. But at the same time, I have to increase, I have to expand along height by 3 times. So Sy will become 3. And when Sx and Sy are not matching, then we are going to call it as a non-uniform scaling. When both of them are same, then we are going to call it as a uniform scaling. Maybe it may be, or it can be compression, or it can be expansion, but Sx should be equal to Sy. See this example. Sx and Sy both are 0.5. Compression is taking place, but the value of Sx and Sy is matching. That's why we are calling it as a uniform scaling. Or if I want to double the size of this object, so original size is this, height is also double, and width is this, width is also double. So this will be your resultant object. So original object by into 2. At that time, Sx and Sy value will be equal to 2, double. But both are same, and that's why we are calling it as a uniform scaling. So no matter whether it is compression or whether it is expansion, if Sx and Sy are matching, then it is called as uniform scaling. And irrespective of compression and expansion, if they are not matching, Sx and Sy are not matching, then we are going to call it as a non-uniform scaling. Now getting the difference? Those who were saying uniform scaling, here Sx and Sy are not matching, and that's why they are not same. Sx and Sy are not equal, and that's why it is a non-uniform type of scaling. Okay, so we will apply this on the same triangle. What will happen then? 5, 5, 10, 5 and 7, 10 multiply by 1003. So I will have here 1 and here I will have 3. So perform the multiplication and tell me the result. 5 remains as it is. Y becomes 15. So ultimately I am going to get as 5 into 1 plus 5 into 0. So 5, then first row and second column. So 5 into 0, 0 plus 5 into 3, 15. 5, 15. Then next is 10 into 1, 10 into 1, 10 plus 0. And 5 into 10 into 0 and 5 into 3. So here 10 remains as it is and Y becomes 50. Similarly, 7 remains as it is and 10 becomes 30. So this is the resultant value. So 5 is your X value and 15 is your Y value. So 5, 10 and 15. So somewhere over here. Then 10, 15 is your B. So here is 10 and here is 15. 10, 15 is B. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. And 7, 30. So on this same line, 7 and 30 is this point. So I will get this triangle as the resultant one. Okay, where height is changing to its 3 times, but the width is not at all changing. Getting it? Yes, is there any difficulty in scaling now? Yes, students.
Got it, ma'am.
Huh? Not getting? Is there anyone who is not getting? Explain, ma'am, once again. Okay. Okay. So, all of you are getting the meaning of scaling? Is there any difficulty in the scaling? Okay. So, all of you have understood what is scaling. So object will expand its size or it will compress its size. So it is called as scaling. When expansion will take place, at that time your scaling factor will be greater than 1. Scaling factor हा जर 1 पेक्षा मोठा असेल तर obviously तुम्हाला expansion in the object मिळणार आहे. And whenever the scaling factor is less than 1, then definitely you will get compression in the object. Okay, so that is about expansion and compression. Now uniform and non-uniform scaling means what? We are going to follow the scaling along x-axis and along y-axis. Object ची size दोन्ही change होती है, तो horizontally पण increase होतो आणि vertically पण increase होतो. So if this is the case, then Sx is responsible for horizontal expansion and SY is responsible for vertical expansion. Okay, so Sx is responsible for horizontal, means if I want to increase the width, then I should increase Sx. If I want to increase the height, then I should increase Sy. Now, what is uniform scaling? Uniform means the object should increase its size along x-axis and along y-axis both. जर दिलेला ऑब्जेक्ट मला एक्सपांड करायचा आहे हॉरिझॉन्टली पण आणि व्हर्टिकली पण, then I will say Sx and Sy equal to 2. Original object हा बॉक्स आहे आणि new object is this outer box. So whenever Sx and Sy is equal to 2, that means 2 times the original object. At that time, what will happen? Your object will expand along x 2 times and the object will expand along y also 2 times. दोन्ही साइडनी एक्सपान्शन होतंय. विड्थ पण वाढतीये आणि हाईट पण वाढतीये. का तर Sx and Sy both are having value equal to 2. और सेकंड केस इज दिलेलं ऑब्जेक्ट जर कंप्रेस होत असेल तर हे तुमचं दिलेलं ऑब्जेक्ट आहे आणि हे रिझल्टंट आहे. या रिझल्टंट मध्ये काय होतंय तर दिलेलं ऑब्जेक्ट कंप्रेस होत चाललंय, विच इज हाफ ऑफ इट्स हाईट, हाफ ऑफ इट्स विड्थ. त्याची विड्थ पण हाफ झाली आहे आणि त्याची हाईट पण हाफ झाली आहे. त्या केसमध्ये Sx and Sy बोथ आर हाफ, दॅट इज 0.5. अगेन ते सेमच आहेत. जरी कंप्रेशन झालं तरी सुद्धा Sx and Sy सेम आहेत आणि जरी एक्सपान्शन झालं तरी सुद्धा Sx and Sy सेम आहेत. So when they are equal, then it is called as uniform, because दोन्ही साइडनी तुमचं ऑब्जेक्ट आयदर एक्सपांड तरी होतंय किंवा कंप्रेस तरी दोन्ही साइडनी होतंय, तर त्याला युनिफॉर्म स्केलिंग म्हणतात. अँड द क्रायटेरिया इज Sx and Sy शुड बी इक्वल. आणि दुसरी केस अशी आहे, या ऑब्जेक्ट मध्ये बघा, जे हॉरिझॉन्टली इन्क्रीज होतंय, हॉरिझॉन्टल साइज. अर्लियर हे होतं ऑब्जेक्ट तुमचं, ते आता नवीन ऑब्जेक्ट असं आहे. सो हॉरिझॉन्टली द विड्थ इज इन्क्रीजिंग बट द हाईट इज रिड्युसिंग. हाईट इथपर्यंत होती ती कमी झाली आणि विड्थ वाढली आहे. त्या केसमध्ये Sx आणि Sy सेम असतील का? नाही, कारण Sx हा वाढतोय. Sx विल बी ग्रेटर दॅन 1 कारण एक्सपान्शन होतंय आणि Sy चं कॉम्प्रेशन होतंय, म्हणून Sy शुड बी लेस दॅन 1. मग Sx जर ग्रेटर दॅन 1 असेल आणि Sy जर लेस दॅन 1 असेल तर ते दोन्ही सेम असतील का? नाही. And that's why such type of scaling is called as non-uniform scaling. जेव्हा Sx and Sy मॅच होत नाहीत त्या केसमध्ये काय होईल, मग तुमची जेवढी विड्थ वाढते तेवढी हाईट वाढणार नाही किंवा जेवढी ती कंप्रेस होतीये तेवढी कंप्रेस पण होणार नाही. सो इररिस्पेक्टिव्ह ऑफ कंप्रेशन किंवा एक्सपान्शन, तो ऑब्जेक्ट वाढतोय का कमी होतोय ह्याच्याशी आपल्याला काही घेणं देणं नाहीये. पण इररिस्पेक्टिव्ह ऑफ दॅट, if Sx and Sy are not same, then it is called as non-uniform. आणि जेव्हा Sx and Sy सेम असतील, मग ते एक्सपान्शन मध्ये असतील सेम किंवा कॉम्प्रेशन मध्ये सेम असतील, 2 असेल किंवा 0.5 असेल, त्या केसमध्ये आपण त्याला म्हणतो युनिफॉर्म स्केलिंग. मग मी जी आता ही दोन्ही एक्झाम्पल घेतली त्याच्यामध्ये ओरिजिनल ट्रायंगल हा एक्सपांड होतोय 3 टाइम्स अलॉंग एक्स ऍक्सिस, म्हणजे Sx तुमचा 3 होतो आणि हाफ असतो Sy, बिकॉज हाईट त्याची हाफ होतीये म्हणून Sy इज हाफ. आता हे दोन मॅच होत आहेत का? नाही. Sx इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर एक्सपान्शन अलॉंग एक्स अँड Sy इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर कंप्रेशन अलॉंग वाय. मग हे जर मॅच होत नाहीये तर याला कुठलं स्केलिंग म्हणणार? नॉन युनिफॉर्म स्केलिंग. आणि मग Sx आणि Sy च्या व्हॅल्यू इथे पुट करून मी ओरिजिनल ट्रायंगलला मल्टिप्लाय केलं आणि मला रिझल्टंट मिळाला हा. सो रिझल्टंट इज दिस वन, विच इज एक्सपांडिंग इटसेल्फ अलॉंग एक्स, पण हाईट मात्र हाफ झाली. बरोबर, हे झालं पहिलं एक्झाम्पल. अँड इन सेकंड एक्झाम्पल मी काय म्हटलं की मला विड्थ आहे तशीच हवी आहे. विड्थ म्हणजे कुठला फॅक्टर? Sx. I want the width as it is. म्हणजेच Sx मला आहे तसाच हवाय. Sx मध्ये x व्हॅल्यू मध्ये काही चेंज नकोय. ते कधी शक्य आहे? जेव्हा मल्टिप्लाइंग फॅक्टर 1 असेल तेव्हा. दॅट मीन्स Sx इज इक्वल टू 1. कशाने मल्टिप्लाय केल्यावर आहे तीच व्हॅल्यू मिळते तुम्हाला 1 नी मल्टिप्लाय केल्यावर. अँड दॅट्स वाय Sx विल बी इक्वल टू 1. And it is said that height should increase to 3 of its original value. Height should be increased to thrice of its original value, and that's why Sy equal to 3. So you are going to get here Sy equal to 3. Now whether Sy and Sx are matching? No. Sx is 1, Sy is 3. They are not matching. So it is the example of non-uniform scaling. आणि नॉन युनिफॉर्म स्केलिंग असल्यामुळे काय झालं पुन्हा इट विल चेंज इट्स साइज अलॉंग वाय ऍक्सिस ओनली. मग बघा तुमचं जे ओरिजिनल एक्स कोऑर्डिनेट होते ते तसेच राहिले का 5, 10 and 7? येस 5, 10 and 7 तसेच राहिले बिकॉज
व्हॉइस ब्रेक होतोय.
ओके नाउ इट इज ओके. Yes, now it is
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
right. In between the connection unstable error I have also received. Okay, so earlier whatever x coordinates were there for A, B, C, all the 3 points, जे इनपुट मध्ये दिलेले होते तेच राहिलेत ना तुमचे. x चेंज नाही झालेलं. After performing this multiplication, x is as it is. Why? Because we have taken Sx is equal to 1. Because we don't want to change the width of triangle, but the height should be changed, and Sy is equal to 3, and that's why only y factor is changing. 5, 5, 10 is converting into 15, 15, 30 3 times, and I will get this triangle as a resultant. Okay, आता कळले सगळ्यांना?
Yes, ma'am.
ओके. अर्लियर कोणी सांगितलं होतं नाही कळलेलं ते? B64 B division 64 roll number.
Yes, ma'am.
ओके कळले आता?
Correct.
ओके. सो दॅट इज अबाउट नॉन युनिफॉर्म स्केलिंग. आता युनिफॉर्म स्केलिंगचं एखादं एक्झाम्पल घेऊया. So in uniform scaling I can say I want to increase the size. I want to increase the size of this triangle to 5 times in x and y both directions. So what will happen? हाच triangle आहे जो दिलाय, and now you have to increase its size to 5 times. So can you tell me the values of Sx and Sy? This is your original.
Both will be equal, ma'am.
Yes, both will be equal because it is mentioned in the problem statement itself that you have to increase the size of the triangle to 5 times. 5 times. And that is the value of Sx and Sy. Both are 5. I have to increase the size along x-axis also 5 times and along y-axis also 5 times. And that is your Sx is equal to Sy, and it causes your uniform type of scaling. And then when I multiply this with 5, 5. So this is your P original triangle, and I will multiply it with 5, 5. So 5, 0, 0, 5. Diagonal elements are responsible for scaling. So this is the question, very favorite question in objective type. Which factors or which elements are responsible for scaling? So always remember that diagonal elements are responsible for scaling, and off diagonal elements are responsible for shearing. So shearing is the next transformation that we are going to study. So it is the most favorite question. These are the diagonal elements which are responsible for scaling operation, and these off diagonal elements are responsible for shearing operation. Okay. So perform this multiplication and tell me the result. I will write result over here.
25.
Right. So 5 times means here it will become 25, 25. Then 50, 25, then 35, 50. My voice is audible or it is breaking? I'm getting the error again. Am I audible? Yes, students.
Yes,
Am I-
ma'am.
Okay. So first point is 25, 20. All of you have got this result. How we have derived this? The simple original triangle into T. We have this formula. Original P into this T matrix will give you the P dash. So this is your P dash. So 25, 25 is your first point. 25 and 25 is this. So somewhere over here. Then 50, 25. So it will go out somewhere. So for understanding, I will draw outside only. And then the here is 35 and 40. So 35, 50. So 35 and 50 will be somewhere over here. So I will get a triangle like this. Okay. And the remaining part is not visible in my screen. Okay. So this is the resultant triangle, that is after 5 times scaling, how the object will look like. Okay. All of you are getting this now, where the object is increasing along x-axis and along y-axis both with equal value 5. With equal value 5. Okay. That's why it is a uniform scaling. Okay. One more objective type of question which is very favorite for the examiner is in order to perform the compression along x-axis and expansion along y-axis, what should be Sx and Sy? In order to carry out the compression along x and expansion along y, suppose. So what can be the Sx and Sy value at that time? Expansion along x. Expansion along x-axis and compression along y-axis. Then what will be the values of Sx and Sy? Yes.
Sx greater than 1.
Right. Sx should be greater than 1 to carry out the expansion, and Sy should be less than 1 to carry out the compression. Okay. Or he may ask that if expansion is carried out along x and compression is carried out along y, which type of scaling it is, uniform, non-uniform, cannot be defined like that. So it is obviously non-uniform, because on one side it is saying expansion and on other side it is saying compression. So it is always the non-uniform type of scaling. Okay. So I believe now the scaling part is understood by all of you. Okay, so let us start with the new new transformation, that is reflection. Okay, so what do you understand with reflection? What do you understand with reflection? आपण यूज करतो का हा डे टू डे मध्ये वर्ड रिफ्लेक्शन? येस स्टुडंट्स, रिफ्लेक्शन आपण कुठे बघतो रिफ्लेक्शन? Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there was, yeah, actually network issues. Okay, so tell me whether the screen is visible. Okay,
Yes.
right.
everyone.
Right. Okay. So reflection. So in day to day also we are using this word reflection. It is nothing but our mirror image. So mirror image is nothing but our reflection. So in the same way, reflection is carried out, or the transformation of reflection is carried out for 2D objects along some specific axis, and that axis is acting as a mirror. In short, that axis is acting as a mirror. So let us see the definition of reflection. So reflection is a transformation that produces a mirror image of an object. It is obtained by rotating the object by 180 degree about the reflection axis. It is going to rotate the object 180 degree. Okay, so 180 degree means it will start performing the rotation and it will rotate the object and it will come over here. So it is going to perform the 180 degree rotation along the specified axis. So this is your x-axis, which is specified axis. And along this x-axis, the object which is placed over here, it will get rotated by 180 degree. So it is a very important question, that reflection, it is many times asked in the MCQ also. Reflection is equal to rotation by 180 degree. Reflection is equal to mirror image, and reflection will be any other thing they will give, and both A and B. So the answer is both A and B, because reflection is mirror image as well as it is a rotation about the specified axis by 180 degree. So this object, consider the object as it is lying on the table. Consider it is lying on the table, that we are going to lift by keeping the base of the object as it is. So it is going to, we are going to lift it at one number point by keeping 2 and 3 as it is. So lifting it up and again putting it on the table by with 180 degree rotation. So it is same as that of rotation along x-axis with 180 degree by lifting point 1 and rotation, and that 1 point will become here 1 dash. Okay, so this is how you are going to carry out the rotation along x-axis. Now consider this diagram. It is a point, let us say 5,5, my favorite point 5,5. Okay, now this is a point 5,5 and I want to reflect it along x-axis. So what will happen? Where the reflection will lie? This is your first quadrant. Where the reflection will lie?
Fourth quadrant.
In the fourth quadrant, right? All of you remember this. If I want to carry out reflection along x-axis, the reflection of first quadrant element will lie in the fourth quadrant. Now, can you tell me the coordinates of this point? The coordinates after reflection? This distance will remain same, isn't it? The distance of the point before reflection from the x-axis will be same as that of after reflection. So this distance will remain same. So
But
can you?
ma'am, it should be minus now.
Yes, yes. I am saying distance. Distance is not always minus. Distance is always positive. Coordinates are negative. So you will be saying that this distance is remaining same. This much will be same. And what will be the coordinates of this point? Yeah.
5
X.
comma minus.
Right, x is same because x intercept is at 5 and y is negative. So y will be minus 5. So if you see, whenever I want to carry out the reflection along x-axis, x remains as it is. Whenever I want to carry out the reflection along x-axis, x remains as it is and the sign of y is only changing. The magnitude is remaining as it is, 5 remains as it is, but plus sign will become minus 5. Plus 5 will become minus 5. So if reflection is carried out along x, then x remains as it is means scaling factor along x is same, 1. Right? Whether magnitude is changing? No, magnitude is same for x and y. Only the signs are changing. And that's why the scaling factor along x as it is, these two elements as it is. What about the scaling factor of y? The sign is changing. Magnitude is same. So magnitude is as it is, but only the sign is changing. So I will have this 1, 0, 0 and minus 1 if it is rotated, if it is reflected with x-axis. So let us see whether we are getting the same result with this T matrix. So this will become your T matrix for the reflection along x. And your original point was 5, 5. So when I multiply with this T matrix, I should get the resultant point. This is your P, this is your T, and you are going to carry out the multiplication between them. So can you tell me the result now? 5 into 5 plus 0. So it will be 5 itself. And 5 into 0, 0. And 5 into minus 1 is minus 5. Whether I am getting the same result? Yes. 5 comma minus 5 is my result. Now this T matrix is true for any reflection along x-axis. Now consider one more example. If the point is in the third quadrant. So I will take again same, my favorite point, minus 5 comma minus 5. Okay, so this is in the third quadrant. And along x-axis, I want to reflect it. So we have derived this T matrix for any reflection along x. So we'll check whether it is applicable for this point also. या point साठी सुद्धा हाच T matrix आहे की नाही ते आपण चेक करूया. मग बघूयात काय हा पहिला पॉइंट -5 -5 इंटू T matrix आहे तुमचा 1 0 0 -1 1 0 0 -1. बिकॉज जेव्हा तुम्ही एक्स ऍक्सिस ची रिफ्लेक्शन करता तेव्हा तुमचा फक्त y कोऑर्डिनेट चेंज होतो. एक्स ऍज इट इज. करा मल्टिप्लिकेशन. व्हॉट इज द रिझल्ट यू आर गोइंग टू गेट? -5 into 1 -5 as it is. Now this row and second column. So -5 into 0 0 and -5 into -1 it will give you +5. Plot this point. X is minus, so on this side x is minus and अरे सॉरी, हा पॉइंट तुमचा -5 आहे.
थर्ड मध्ये पाहिजे ना मॅम तो.
हा राईट. एनिवेज वी विल टेक दिस. मी -5 घेतलं दोन्ही मगाशी. हा जर पॉइंट असेल तर तो कुठे लाय होतोय?
थर्ड क्वाड्रंट.
थर्ड क्वाड्रंट मध्ये -5 when both x and y are negative, so somewhere over here. Sorry, so this is your third quadrant point, -5. नाव आता मला याचं रिफ्लेक्शन घ्यायचं एक्स ऍक्सिस बरोबर, तर रिफ्लेक्शन मॅट्रिक्स तर तोच राहणार आहे 1 0 0 -1 आणि रिझल्टंट मिळालाय मला -5,5. आता हा पॉइंट प्लॉट करा, -5 आणि 5. सो दिस इज युअर -5 पॉइंट because this is also -5, so x is -5 and y is +5, so y is positive, so it will lie somewhere over here. Whether I am getting the reflection of this point? Yes, I am getting the reflection of this point along x-axis. So always remember, reflection along x-axis will change only the sign of y. Magnitude remains as it is. So this is your T matrix for X reflection. Similarly, can you tell me the T